Now, here he is. Teddy Hobbs was just 2 years old when he taught himself to read. He's now 4 and can count to 106 different languages. He's UK's youngest member of Mensa.
Well, Teddy joins us now alongside his lovely mum, Beth. Move over, Beth.
Sorry.
Come and join us. It's so lovely to meet you.
Lovely
Lovely to meet you. Who's this here? Who's this?
Teddy.
Is that your teddy bear?
Her name is Whitehead.
This is
Whitehead.
Whitehead. Whitehead.
Teddy, can we get some...
She can join the crew too.
Yes, she can join. Of course
Join
she
our
can.
crew. There we go. Hey, Teddy, can we get a high five? Excellent.
I'll get a high five as well.
Can we high five you?
Oh.
What happens if we go down below?
He's so
slow.
cute. He's so cute. So obviously, Beth, this was a miracle baby to start with because he was an IVF baby, wasn't he?
Yeah, both him and his sister are IVF children. You know, no IVF process was easy, but they were tricky IVF babies. So yeah, we're just so grateful to have them in our lives as it is. And yeah, all we care about is being happy.
What's up, Bub?
But he wants another 5.
You got 5. OK.
There you go.
That's not fair.
Can you show us some counting? Because apparently you're very good at counting, aren't you?
Can you count in Mandarin?
Can you count in Mandarin?
How long do you want me to count?
Can you go to 10? Let's see what you got. Go on then, go for it.
Can you do up to 10 in Mandarin?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's amazing. Amazing. You're so clever. You're so clever.
Beth, where did...
He
still loves a high five, though.
Loved it now.
Another high five.
Hello.
You did it again! Beth, when did you first realise that he had this incredible ability of high-fiving?
During lockdown, he started doing things that sort of his friends weren't really doing. He started going out for walks and he would, see the house numbers and he would... Sorry, you started him on something now, that's it, he's lost. Yeah, like counting house numbers and I remember messaging my friends on WhatsApp being like, does anybody else's children get excited by house numbers or out on a walk in lockdown? And the response came back kind of, no, it doesn't. And then he was watching children's TV and he seemed to... He only wanted educational programmes, so alpha blocks, number blocks, instead of... We were like, do you want to watch Teletubbies or Hey Duggee? And he was like, no, thank you, alpha blocks and number blocks. So we kind of rolled with it, because if a child asks for education, you don't kind of say no.
What's lovely about it is you can still see he's just a little little baby.
Yeah, he is very much still a 4-year-old. Still finds poo funny, like all of those sort of things.
When I was reading my notes, it was like, he can count to 100 in Mandarin, but still finds poo-poo bananas very funny.
Yeah, that's what he asked for breakfast the other morning. So he's still, we're really lucky. He's got a really lovely group of friends. And yeah, we do, swimming and gymnastics and still lots of things, we make sure that he's a very rounded, but we try to make sure he's rounded for. But yeah, when we get home, he wants to sit and do... I got told off at tea time last night because I got my times tables wrong, so then I had to practice, make sure that I got it correct. So that's just what he finds fun.
Absolutely amazing. Dermot O'Leary, I'm trying to have an interview here, and you're just playing.
What am I supposed to do? Teddy wants to play.
All right,
I think we've made a film now.
Teddy, come and sit by Mummy now. Come and sit by Mummy, because Dermot is going to have you...
I know where we are in the interview. What are we up to?
So how did Mensa get involved then?
We realised he could do things that his friends couldn't do. We kind of wanted to know, before we went and looked around schools for this September, we kind of wanted to know exactly where he was. So we were looking for an assessment.
Yeah.
We spoke to our house visitor and they said, we don't really know what to do. And have you looked at Mensa?
Yeah.
And so we went to Mensa. They put us in charge with Lynn Kendall, who's their child consultant, and she did an assessment with us so that we could have something on black and white to take to school and say, this is him, and good luck. At the end of the assessment, she turned around and said, by the way, he qualifies for Mensa, and here's the paperwork if you're interested. And we just kind of had worst case scenario, he gets a certificate, it goes in his treasure box and he never sees it again.
But he didn't just get a certificate.
No.
He was like the youngest. He scored really high, didn't he?
He's currently the youngest member. I mean, it's just amazing. The community in Britain, there's loads of children like Teddy, just we're kind of all spread out. There's a charity called Potential Plus UK who specialise in supporting children with, families of children with what they call higher learning potential.
Yeah.
There are children in there whose IQ beats, not that it's a competition, but, children with much higher IQs than Teddy, it just happened that they got assessed later. But saying that, yeah, it's just... I mean, it's all a fun challenge. We can't... Sorry, yes, cup of tea there. But yeah, it's all a fun challenge.
Do you know what I was thinking? If I had a child like this who could read absolutely everything, I'd be really worried about the content that was going into him.
Yeah, we have to make sure that newspapers aren't left around. I mean, some things still get through, so he's fascinated with... He went through a phase about countries and flags. Excuse me. I think we need to have a... Excuse me, please. I know, you're having fun, aren't you?
It's all right.
But yeah, he loves flags. And then, obviously, sorry, I've gone. That's it. We've got a thing. But yeah, Russia and Ukraine happened, and suddenly all the Ukrainian flags started popping up all around the place. And he's like, why are there Ukrainian flags up on the church
so
in people's windows?
A lot of questions.
And, I want to answer, but sorry, yeah.
Do you think, in terms of nature nurture, do you think it's just...
So sorry.
Oh, don't be daft.
I've
got a 2.5-year-old, so don't worry. I'm well versed in this. But do you think, in terms of nature nurture, do you think this is him? This is just...
It always has been. We've always... So we have lots of educational...
Right? Yeah.
If he's it's like if, he's got friends who are interested in football, so their parents went out and bought them a football and maybe a net for the back garden. He was interested in books.
Yeah.
He had an operation, in fact, a year ago today, and we asked if he wanted to go for a treat afterwards. We assumed it would mean Percy Pigs. We ended up in a bookshop. And he wanted to buy a book of First 1,000 Words in Mandarin. Yeah. That was what he wanted for his treat. And I'm there like, well, if he's asking for it,
absolutely.
We can't. We didn't want to kind of no, you shall not learn. And we were there in the bookshop being like, oh, look, isn't this a lovely story? Look at the beautiful pictures in this book. And he's like, no, this one. So,
no, you shall not learn.
Yeah. But we've had a couple of conversations where he's been sat down doing something and we're like, OK, let's stop that. Everyone out to the park, and he's begging to no, please, I just want to read a bit longer, or, I want to do some more puzzles or something like that. And I'm there like, no, come on. We really do try and...
Honestly, it's so lovely to meet you. And
Teddy,
this one
question I want to ask you, Teddy, is can you read the camera?
Yeah.
You should see over there. Can you read what that says?
We'll be back after this break.
That was too good. That was too good. Annoyingly too good. That's it. You're going down. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Indeed, we will be after.
Like the man says, we'll be back after this break. Get him!